So what gives you frisson?
Frisson. The times that I've spent outdoors in our country's national parks have made me feel something that no other place has ever been able to make me feel. I've been traveling over 40 national parks across the United States the last 7 years, and whenever I'm going to a new place, I get a wide smile on my face, and I love diving into the beauty and the power that nature has to provide for all of us. And I think that that's something that we are all looking for. We're all looking for something that fills us with awe and beauty, and nowhere like the national parks have done that for me. Yeah.
Just you talking about that is giving me like full body chills right now.
There's something about it. I work as a tour guide, so I'm able to bring people to these places. I'm able to go to national parks and bring a bus full of middle school and high school kids to like the Grand Canyon. And even though I've been to the Grand Canyon many times now, I get to live vicariously through them. I get to watch their chills. I get to watch their jaws hit the floor, and that's what makes my job so exciting, and why I want to continue to do it as long as I can. Is because I get to be that guiding light for them, and that's a memory that they're going to have with them the rest of their life. And to me, like, that's why there's nothing else I'd rather be doing than bringing people to national parks. And I would encourage as many of you as possible to go out and see our public lands. A lot of the times people think, oh, travel is expensive, travel is difficult to reach, but the national parks are open and available. One national park pass can get you into all of the national parks. There's 59 or so national parks, and then over 400 national monuments. All of them are included in that 1-year pass. So just hop in the car, load up with some buddies, go drive somewhere you've never been to, and visit these public spaces. I mean, it's going to fill you with nothing but awe and joy, and there's nothing better than being able to take some time outside and some opportunity to just pause for a while and just breathe and exist. So important to slow down a little bit and realize that just existing, just being out in these spaces, like, will enable you to feel more connected to the planet than anywhere else. And you're going to be surprised with the people that you'll meet as well. Every single person I've met out on a hiking trail in a national park has been nothing but kind-hearted, loving, and wonderful. That woman right there on the park bench, we met on the Appalachian Trail. We met hiking opposite directions. And here we are 3 years later. She lives in Manhattan. I lived out in like Utah, but we made it work. We had a connection. So like, you never really know who you're going to meet on the trails, and you know, being in that outdoor setting really does facilitate conversation, and you're gonna run into wonderful, friendly people no matter where you go on the road. That's what's enabled me to travel for as long as I have. I would not be able to do what I do were it not for the random acts of kindness from strangers. And that also fills me with, what's the word?
Frisson.
Frisson is the kindness of others. That generosity from a complete stranger is palpable no matter where I go, no matter where I've traveled. And that frisson definitely has kept me on the road for as long as I have, and I don't see any signs of slowing down anytime soon. Yeah.
So do you feel like, what part of your body do you feel it?
I'd say that it stems in the heart and palpitates and radiates out throughout the rest of the body slowly. The idea, the feelings that I get in these national parks are just one of like sheer awe and majesty almost. The ideas, so I love understanding like the science behind how those national parks formed, whether that's geology, the ecology of the landscapes. But the more that I understand how these landscapes formed, the more connected and fortunate and lucky I feel to be a part of these landscapes, to be able to witness and experience these landscapes as well. And that does radiate out when I'm standing on the edge of a precipice, or when I'm on the top of a mountain and I have 360-degree views for hundreds of miles in all directions. That sense of freedom is unlike anything else, and you have to earn it. Anybody can drive up a mountain, but it's a very different feeling having just hiked to the top of that mountain, having climbed 7,000 feet of elevation and working toward it. That sense of earning the view like that definitely makes me feel a sense of joy and wonder that no amount of driving can do too. So that's why sometimes I prefer to get out of the car and just walk up the mountain instead.
Yeah, I think, I really feel that, that passion coming from you. It actually brought me to tears at one moment. Do you ever feel that, getting moved to tears when in the presence of, something that's so majestic?
100%. There have been times where I've wept like a baby at the top of a mountain or the edge of a massive canyon. There is absolutely times where something can be so beautiful that you can't help to be in that sense of just happiness and it's always a happy tear rather than a sad tear, because you're just in love with everything around you, and it can be sensory overload in some ways too, where the senses just can't quite contemplate everything going on around you, and that sense of overwhelmingness will either fill my arms with goosebumps or bring me to tears even. Yeah.
Is there any particular place that you get it the most? In the parks, is there any particular place or any particular park that you get it the most?
Well, there have been particular areas that have maybe struck a chord with me more so than others. I particularly love, it's a national park on the border of Washington and Canada, and this region is known as the North Cascades. I think the reason I enjoy this area so much is because it's like a playground for volcanoes and how volcanoes are formed. So you're really getting able to witness tectonic forces at play. You have all these different types of volcanoes there, and they're all covered in glaciers. And when you hike up these mountains in the summertime, there's clear paths to the summits. They're maybe only 8,000 feet above sea level, which is a far cry from the 14,000 foot mountains in Colorado. But that doesn't matter here, because when you're on the tops of those mountains in the North Cascades, you are looking out through so many different varieties of landscapes. At the bottom where I started the hike is a beautiful lake called Diablo Lake. It's neon blue. The water is so blue from glacial till. As glaciers melt, they deposit tiny fragments of rock into the lake, and that starts to break apart into a dust. That dust fills the lake, and as sunlight hits the lake, it refracts and bends that light and causes it to glow neon blue. So the waters are something out of a fairy tale. And then you're looking at evergreen forests that grow all up along the sides of the mountains. And when you're at the top, you have it's a bald section of the mountain. It's so rocky and so harsh for any sort of life to live there that there are no plants there. Sure, there's mosses and lichen and everything like that, but not a lot of trees, which means when you're at the summits, you can look all around you and really get a sense of, holy mackerel, these mountains are vast, majestic. You can see forever, and I love being able to look out and see glaciers, lakes, forests. One mountain in particular, it's called Ruby Mountain, and you can look out and follow that lake and river system up into Canada. So you can watch the Cascades of America flow into Canada as well. And that spot, you really have to earn that view, though. That hike is 20 miles round trip with 7,000 feet of elevation gain. So, boy, are you tired going up that mountain. But I think that going back to what I was saying earlier about why it makes it worth to climb these things is because there are no mountains that you can drive to like that, and that's why that's one of my favorite national parks is you have to earn the views. you have to get out of your car and start climbing to really appreciate and get a sense of scale for that national park. And that's why it makes it one of my favorite spots on Earth too.
So, what could you say to someone who wants to cultivate this feeling of frisson or to feel it for themselves more often? What could you say to someone?
I guess for me, it's finding that fire, finding that passion. What lights a fire under your ass? What gets you out of bed in the morning? What is it that you're passionate about? Find anything that makes you truly, truly happy. Doesn't matter what it is. And pursue that as much as you can, whether that's joining a club in your university and going out and finding other people to connect with that might enjoy this hobby or something that you like to pursue. That's what'll drive you, and that's what'll motivate you to continue to find other people that are like you. You're not alone in this. There are so many other people that enjoy the same things you do. Go out, find some of those people, make those connections, and it's only going to encourage and motivate you even more to go out and pursue it as well.